Lasers is a little bit more of a popular record. It's a bigger sound, bigger hooks, a little bit more open in that sense musically. But in that area, it's kind of different as far as like the actual music that we use. But as far as the content and the direction, some of the conceptuality that that I'm kind of known for with songs like Kick Push or Daydream and what have you, you still have that that energy and that tradition still being carried on onto this record. It was way more of a excuse me, way more of a how can I say this, current record, whereas I felt like the Cool or Food and Liquor was, I don't want to say timeless, but it didn't necessarily fit the mold of the time that it kind of came out, whereas I think the Lasers kind of does that. It definitely, there's songs in there that definitely fit the way radio is right now, and certainly where certain elements of pop culture are right now. There were maybe about 4 songs from the original, original part 1 of Lasers. When I first went into it, it actually survived. That made it, to Lasers that's coming out now, the final album. And a lot of, over the period of time, there was like a lot of additions. There were a few additions toward like the last few months. There was things that were inspired from like the protest and, different things that just kind of, wrap up the album. Like I might have heard a last-minute record and was like, oh, that's dope, let me do that. But for the most part, it's maybe about 4 or 5 songs that were from the original, Lasers album that made it to the final album. The video for Lasers, I worked with Sana Hamri. She directed it, and it was more so me being like this liberator, undercover agent, kind of secret agent dude who was sneaking, into this prison to kind of rescue one of my comrades, from the clutches of the evil people, I guess. And it was really interesting, very active, action-packed, kind of thing. There's fight scenes in it. There's a whole lot of, action. It's very aggressive, but at the end I get the girl, so that's all that counts. All Black Everything is one of the records that if I wasn't me, I would go see me in concert to see me perform it. To me, it's such a, and I want to boast too much, but it's one of those. It's like a perfect storm, for me anyway, for my musical taste and the things that I like, and it's rare for me to get a record of mine that I really love, and I really enjoy kind of listening back to and whatever. It's like the track is something that I could just listen to the track alone. And for a long time, I've had the track for a while. I would just listen to the track, listen to the music of the track. And when I came up with the idea of the All Black Everything and the whole idea of slaves not getting paid, and how with that, slaves getting paid, and and not reparations, but actually getting paid from the start, that whole process and coming up with that kind of fairy tale, and the story behind it was just like exciting. And, it just finished really well. It's a really, really well put together record, Out of My Head was a record that I just had the track initially, and I was like, yeah, this track is, it was a club track, and I was like, it's pretty dope, And I had a friend by the name of Lil Ronnie, who's a writer, came in and kind of put some ideas to it, and was like, yo, who'd be dope on this? And I was like, yo, who? Like Trey Songz, Reached out to Trey. Trey was like, I'm down, you do it. And, between us, it was just kind of like, a smash, just for something nice for the clubs and something nice for the ladies, because I always had those lady records, for the girls, whether it be Sunshine or Paris Tokyo or Go Baby, every album has to have something specifically dedicated, to the ladies, and Out of My Head is that record. Yeah, big Trey Songz fan. We're on the same label, of course, but we've toured together, worked on other songs together before. I'm a big fan of his writing, big fan of his whole movement and what have you. So he's a super talent. What up? This is Lupe Fiasco, and you're watching Wrap Up TV.